Hey, good afternoon, guys. This is Myron. I'm back. You must be wondering why I'm here recording a video. The thing is, I'm here in the Andy Hotel of Mandaue City, Cebu, and I'm alone. So I've been thinking of something to do. Then I suddenly thought of recording a video that talks about one of the life principles or work-related quotations that I already posted on my Facebook fan page, and I'm pretty sure that you guys already saw it. It talks about management, it talks about leadership, it talks about uh, being an employee. So if I could just read it to you out loud real quick, let me just take a look at it on my Facebook fan page. Okay, that quotation I'm going to elaborate on for you guys. So you learn something new, you learn something that you believe would be able to help you be better at work, or something that will help you come up with better decisions about where your career goes to, how it progresses, and how you think you would be able to help yourself be the best person or professional that you can be. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, I'm pretty sure you already saw this before, and here it goes. Most of the time, employees don't leave their companies for greener pastures. They leave because of dead ends that they do not know where to go to anymore, but find a better and longer path. It's very true. And I even wrote additional notes here which further talk about it, although very briefly. Says here, it is the leader's obligation to help their immediate subordinates find their alternative route when for them it seems that it's already a dead end and they don't know where else to go to, or better yet, they extend that dead end and allow them to go on with the journey up the corporate steps with guidance and ample motivation. This is very true. There may be a lot of reasons that make any employee in any company all over the country resign. It could be, well, they just feel like it because they lost interest in the people, in the company, in the work itself. Or secondly, they are looking for a higher pay, of course. Who is not? Third, they don't want to work for their bosses anymore because for them they're smart Alex. Okay, they do not feel at ease being with them, or seeing them, or hearing them, or being around them. Fourth, it could be because they want to avoid somebody who they hate so much, and the best move that they could think of to not see that person anymore, not hear or hear about that person anymore, would be to leave the company and just transfer somewhere else. Fifth, the company could be, it may be about proximity. The company may be too far from where they live. Sixth, of course, this is kind of similar to they're looking for a higher pay, which is they're looking for better benefits. Okay? And lastly, although there could be more, but I could not, at the top of my head, remember the others anymore. This one, the last one that I have here on my list, would be you don't like the ambience, or of course the people that they work with. So they have socialization problems. So these are just seven of a lot of reasons why you know employees leave their companies or resign from their current companies. But you know what? One of More often than not, or usually one of the reasons why employees quit their jobs or leave their current companies is it's not always because they're looking for greener pastures, okay? It's an idiom, we know that. when we talk about greener pastures, we always refer to them as higher pay, right? Better people to work with, a more cool environment, right? Or far better benefits, okay? But in reality, more often than not, employees don't leave because of greener pastures. They go somewhere else because for them, they believe that it's already a dead end. They don't know where else to go to anymore. They cannot progress anymore. They cannot move forward anymore. So that's one of the primary reasons why employees quit. And believe me when I say that. So they think, like I said, they think that there's nowhere else to go to anymore because they feel that they are being left behind, right? But by whom? By their bosses. Okay? They feel that they are not being attended to anymore. They feel that their boss's personal work or administrative duties are far more important than a part of their job, which is managing people. Okay? And they also think there's no, because of that, career growth or personal development in the company anymore. Okay? So maybe you're wondering, so Myron, what should leaders do? How should managers improve themselves? If you are pointing out to us that uh, most employees do not really leave because of higher pay or better benefits, but because they feel that they're not growing further, they're not uh, developing more in the company anymore, or they would not be able to go any higher than their current position, or they would not be able to get more than what they currently have or what they are currently getting in the company. Then what should they do? Okay, so I am gonna provide you tips, especially if you're a manager, a leader, a team leader, supervisor, an officer, or whatnot, top level executive, a vice president, president, CEO, CFO, or whatnot. Then I hope that these tips would be able to help you improve yourself as a manager. A manager who shows concern, genuine, that is, to his or her employees, who have their best interests in mind. Okay. The first tip I'm gonna give to you guys would be, well, first and foremost, managers should have a mindset that people management is as important, if not more, than self-management. Okay? Some leaders do not have this kind of thinking. For them, their personal work, their administrative work, and those work that people hire them, assign to them, are much more important. And because they have that kind of mentality, they forget that they have people underneath who need their guidance, who need to be managed, who need to be led, where they should go to, who need to be assisted with how they should carry out their jobs, how they should meet or exceed their expectations. Okay, so that those are some of the things that ignoring your people usually, okay, go to. So in other words, you have to give importance to the people, because if not for the people who are working for you, you will not be wherever you are right now. I bet on this that you won't be able to accomplish something significant if what you could have done better or more effectively with other people, working with other people, you just do on your own. Okay? You just do by yourself. You get what I mean? The next tip that I'm going to share with you is you should give importance to people that you are working with, the people who are reporting directly to you. Because if you're not going to give importance to them, okay, they're not going to give importance to themselves as well. And if they lose self-esteem, okay, if they don't feel confident about what they're capable of doing, if they think that if they do not find their use in the company anymore, if they're not able to recognize their value in the company anymore, then they would look for somewhere else which has people who would value them more, who would feel that they are more important. Okay. The third tip that I'm going to share with you would be, give them time. You have to find time for your people, no matter how few or many they are. Okay? Some managers, they have this kind of thinking. I don't have time. I have lots of things to do. I have meetings here and there. I have to go to a lot of business functions. Okay, I need to spend more time with working with my boss, my own boss, the very person I report to myself, more than working with you guys. Okay? If you have any question, just text me or email me or call me, but I'm not gonna assure you, I cannot give you a guarantee that I'll be able to get back to you on time. Okay? So that's bullshit. Excuse my French. Okay? If you are an effective manager who value your people, then no matter how busy you are, you should make it a point to find time for your people. Okay? Because if you can't find time for your people, that means you have problems with managing your priorities. That means you have difficulties, you're having a rough time managing yourself. If you are in a dilemma like that you're having difficulties managing yourself or setting your priorities right, I don't think you deserve being at the level you are. Okay? Then that means you're more of a paper manager, if you get what I mean. Okay? A paper leader. A person who is a manager because the word itself, that title itself, is attached right next to their name. Okay, so there's a big difference between a manager who just has the position, okay, and a manager who acts like one, really, who knows how to manage, who recognizes the fact, okay, that he has to lead people there. So give them time. So what do you need to give them time for? All right, you need to give them time. You need to spend a quality time with them, so you can sit down with them, okay, thoroughly, so you can formulate their career path in the company. Not a lot of managers do this. Not a lot of managers accept that having a career plan or a career path plan for each of their staff members is very important. Because when they go up, for sure, okay, they're gonna go higher themselves. And when you guys, as managers, sit down with your people to formulate the best, the most workable, and the most practical career plan with them, you've got to base it on their accomplishments. Okay? What they already accomplished before, what they've accomplished recently, and what they're capable of accomplishing in the future. You also take into account their strengths. Okay, strengths are very important because if you do not know what their strengths are, you'd end up putting them in in a position that they're not going to work well in, that they're not going to excel in, that they're not going to end up loving or valuing, and you don't want them to be in that spot. And next would be, it's also very important to take into consideration some areas for improvement that they need to work on. Okay, for example, if you have profiled one of your staff members to be a team leader in the future because you believe he or she has the leadership skills, he or she has the right attitude to be one, but you're not able to take into consideration some areas for improvement that he or she has to work on first before he or she goes up to that position, then that person you're promoting would end up having problems big time. Okay? The next would be, it's very important to note down or to help them correct their attitude as well. Okay, because we don't want to create monsters out of our staff members. Always remember this: there are three aspects that create a person's performance. Three factors that make up the totality of a person. Okay, and these aspects of performance would be knowledge, skills, and attitude. Okay, and they're interdependent. They should go with one another. Okay, if one is lacking, then the person would definitely have a problem. The person would not be able to function as well as expected. Okay, knowledge. All right, for knowledge, it's very important that your staff member, your people, okay, knows what he is doing. Second, skills. Your staff should always know how they can do what they're doing or what they're supposed to do. Third would be they should have or possess the right attitude. Okay? Because there are some people, they are knowledgeable, they're the best, okay? They may be the most skillful, but they don't have the proper attitude. Okay? So they end up being hated by the people that they work with. Alright? They end up getting more stress, feeling more pressure. Because even though they know a lot of things, even though they are the best in what they do, because they don't have the right or the proper attitude, okay? They don't have the endurance, they don't have the patience, and they don't have the people skills to work with other individuals well. So knowledge, skills, and attitude are important. They should go together. These three aspects or factors of performance should be enhanced, should be corrected, and should be, or rather people should have all these three. Okay? And the last tip I'm going to share with you is, or rather this would be the second to the last, is always keep the workplace happy, interesting, learning conducive, and development friendly environment. Happy. Okay. Who would not like to work in a workplace where people are happy? Okay. So always preserve that kind of an atmosphere in the workplace. That people love working with one another, people love seeing one another, people love hearing one another, that they enjoy every minute they have in the company, that they don't want their 8 hours or 9 hours in the company to run out right away. Like they feel that they don't want to go home yet because they're having the greatest time of their lives in the company. So that's what I mean by happy. Next would be interesting. All right. So when I say interesting, I don't mean to say that you as the manager should always come up with attention grabbing, gimmicks in the workplace. But when I say interesting, people find work or staying in the workplace interesting when there's always something new to learn, when there's always a new experience to challenge themselves with or in. So that's what I mean by being interesting. Okay? People should always be provided new opportunities. People should always be put in challenging situations where they would be able to test their knowledge, their skills, and their attitude more. And where they would be able to learn new stuff about life and about work. They would be able to, or rather would make them better people. Okay? And of course, the workplace should be learning conducive. Because if the workplace is not learning conducive, then people, no matter how confident, no matter how positive they are, they would not be able to work under pressure. They would not be able to confront stress or pressure effectively or with ease. And of course, you should always put them in a working environment that is development friendly. Meaning, they know that if they stay longer in the company, that they would go somewhere else, that they would go up the corporate ladder, that they would be the best in what they do. Okay? When I say development, because people have a wrong interpretation of what employee development is. Employee development does not always refer to being promoted, going up the corporate ladder. Employee development may also refer to being the best in what you do, right? Because there are some people who don't want to get promoted, and that's a reality, okay? But for those people who want to go up the corporate ladder, you have to help them go up the corporate ladder. But for those people who don't want to go up the corporate ladder because they're afraid of additional responsibilities, or they're fine at where they are, they're contented with what they have, then you can just help them be the best in what they do. And they already take pride in it. So that's what we mean by employee development, the truest meaning of employee development. Okay, well, other people may have other or unique interpretations of what employee development would be, but that's my own interpretation of employee development. And last but not least would be guide your people every step of the way. That's very important. Not because, sitting down with them, giving them time, and formulating their career path in the company with them may not be enough yet. It's very important that you also guide them from the start until the finish. Okay? It's very important that they could find you easily when they need help with something. It's very important that they could get to you easily as well, or comfortably, when they would like to ask you questions. Okay? It's very important that as they reach for their goals in the company, as they stay longer in the company, as they try to get promoted in the company, that you are there every step of the way, that you can be found. You are not always absent, okay? That you cannot be texted, you cannot be emailed, you cannot be called. There are some managers who, this is how they work. They can be texted, they can be emailed, or they can be called, but they don't reply promptly. Worse, they don't reply at all. So, that's what I mean by giving them guidance every step of the way. When they ask you questions, answer them completely. Okay? And you've got to be observant. When you see or notice that they're having difficulties, then take the initiative to approach them. Okay, it seems that you're having difficulties. Is there something that you need help with? That's what I mean by guiding them every step of the way. Be their ally on their way to success. Be their buddy to the top as they go up the corporate ladder. So there you have it. These are 5 things that I would like to share with managers. So you're able to keep your talents. You're able to retain your best people. So you'll be able to keep them from leaving the company and looking for longer paths somewhere else. Okay? So just to summarize, we'll just go through each of these 5 tips that I shared with you real quick. Number 1, managers should have a mindset that people management is as important, if not more, than self-management. Second, you should value your people. You should give them importance. Third, give them time. Find time for them. Sit down with them and formulate their career path or their career plan in the company. Okay? And when you strategize about their career plan, you should always base it upon their current accomplishments, their past accomplishments, and their potential accomplishments in the future. And of course, you also have to take into account their strengths, their areas for improvement, and their attitude. If it needs correction or improvement, then you've got to help them with it. And of course, number 4, always keep the workplace happy, interesting, learning conducive, and development-friendly environment for them. If they are put in a workplace that's exactly like that, and they don't want to be pirated by other companies anymore. They don't want to go somewhere else. They just want to stay with you in the company for as long as they can, even eternally, if possible. And last but not least, guys, always keep this in mind. Always put this in your heart. Guide them every step of the way. Okay? Your responsibility does not just end in formulating their career plan. You've got to be guiding them as they go up the corporate ladder, as they discover themselves more, as they improve themselves, as they do things better. So these 5 tips, hopefully, would be able to help you. So there you have it, guys. I hope that you learned something from me. And this is actually unprepared, so I apologize for some, speech deficiencies or some imperfections that you guys heard as I was speaking. But more than noticing my flaws in this discussion or talk, I hope that you paid more attention to the wisdom, okay, the values, and the practical tips that I explained. So let's see if I could still do something like this tomorrow. Well, it depends on whether I'm busy or not. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and may you have a great day. Always be equipped. Once again, this is Myron Sta, your buddy to the top, your friend towards success. Thank you.